Hi everyone!
Hello!
Today we're going to show you how to make a simple windsock.
I don't actually know how to sew though, I never learnt when I was younger, so you might have to show me how to work it and set it up first.
Well, I didn't know very much myself. I learned a little bit with my mum when I was a little kid, and then just tried lots of stuff on my own and watching YouTube videos, so we'll go through the machine and tell you roughly what's what, and then just trial and error really. So in a sewing machine, there's the top thread and the bottom thread.
I've never understood that. Why is there two threads?
So if you go along, the needle will just punch a hole, go to the bottom, loop around the bottom one and go back up, and do that over and over again. And that's what stitching is just hooking over the bottom one with the top one. So filling the bobbin is pretty easy. You just put the line through and then you use the machine to wind the bobbin up, and you just want a little bit of tension, and that's about it. Then you pop it into its holder, make sure it's going the correct way, and different machines might have them going different ways, so just look at the manual for your machine. Then you thread through the top line, and this is where it goes through lots of multiple different little things. And again, most household machines are very similar, so if you know how to thread one, you'll know how to do the next. But if you don't know how to thread any, just look at videos online of how to do it, or at your manual, and it's usually pretty straightforward. And then once the top line is threaded through, you can fish out the bottom bobbin, and this is pretty much the same process for every machine.
The hardest bit is getting that little thread to go through the eye, isn't it?
The eye of the needle.
Especially when you've got rubbish eyes.
The machines also have quite a few different controls, but most important is the tension. If you're gonna sew straight or zigzag, where you place the needle, and there's also some fancy patterns that you can do that we're not gonna use for this. And then the last one is the pitch, how much the cloth advances per stitch, and also your button to sew backwards. About the tension, if you find that your top line gets a lot of extra line on the bottom, then you probably don't have enough tension. And if your top line is just straight across the top and is pulling the bottom line up a lot, you have too much tension. And ideally, it should be, the two lines should meet somewhere in the middle. So you shouldn't see top line at the bottom and you shouldn't see bottom line at the top. My top is white and my bottom is black, and I do that so that I can have a bit of an easier time seeing if there's any white on this side or any black on this side.
Okay, so I'm going to start really basic. Andre has drawn me some lines and I'm going to see if I can follow them. I'm not even folding anything over just yet or sewing bits together, but I'll see how I get on. Ah, it goes way faster than I expected. So then what do I do to get it off?
Oh, to stop, so you lift the foot, make sure the needle is up.
Yeah, can't tell. It is, it's up now.
There
It
you
wasn't.
go. So you pull it to the side or to the back.
What, just pull it?
Yeah, just pull it out.
Like
So you want to make sure you have quite a bit of tail, I don't know what that is, 6 inches or so. And then you cut it near the cloth so that the tail stays on. That's it, because you need that. If you don't have that tail when you start sewing, then it will just pull it in and you'll miss some stitches and it won't work.
Cool.
So how have you found the practice then?
It's okay, the going over the straight lines was fine. When it came to doing the seams, I can't go backwards without getting this little ruffle, and following curved lines without actually drawing a line is more difficult, but not too bad.
Pattern!
Thank you very much. Okay, so I was going to go straight into doing this seam, but I've realised I need to bend the back seam and the front seam over first, just to hide the ends when I come to eventually do the middle seam.
Okay.
Oops, veered off a little bit there. I'm just going to do an extra bit. So this is the part I want this to be on the inside, so I'm going to fold it that way because this will be the inside seam.
It's all about seam allowance and order of operations, isn't it? Because after all of this is done, all the ugly parts are on the outside, but then you turn it inside out, right?
Yeah. Bit more wiggly again, but I would just wonder if there's sewing machines where you can actually go a bit slower, because I think my problem is it's running away with me and I can't I can't graduate my foot enough to slow it down, so I don't know whether they're available. I
have the same problem. I think we could upgrade our speed controller, because it's almost like you touch it 1 millimeter and it starts going 1,000 miles an hour. Is this the moment of the truthness?
Are you ready?
Oh, we forgot to attach some lines.
Oh yeah, we need to do that after. I'm not too unhappy with that as a first attempt.
Oh, right.
There we go. A simple windsock.
The rage of the seamstress. So that's it. I think it turned out really well for your first little sewing project.
I am quite pleased that it's neater than I expected it to be, but it's not very good as an actual windsock. It's more of a novelty item, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of halfway between the size of something you'd hang on your car and something that would actually be useful in the field. So I think it'd have to be bigger to actually, or you'd need a lot of wind for it.
Yeah.
But in any case, we'll try to put some of these plans on social media and on Patreon if you want to support us. I want to thank all of these lovely people on Patreon for making these videos possible. Thank you very much to everyone. You can also support us on YouTube down in the join button if you're so inclined. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.